we're watching this mass invasion from the southern border. And I've talked to you guys now about all these issues and all these incidences. Just here in Florida, this girl got raped at a hotel. I told you guys yesterday, it's a horrible story. And then what happened in Athens, Georgia. I brought that story at the beginning of the week. And I talked quite a while to my buddy from Venezuela. He worked through it, got his green card, ended up marrying a girl here, been here for years, great guy, super hard work ethic. And I asked him, I was talking to him about this because that guy that killed the girl in Athens, Georgia was from Venezuela. And he said, Austin, you got to understand the reason why you're seeing such extreme violence from the majority of these people that are coming up here. He goes, they're militia. Why do you think we're paying them when they come here? Why do you think they're getting credit cards when they get here? We're not giving hobos and bums that are going to sit on the sidewalk for the next 20 years credit cards.
Mercenaries.
We're giving militia mercenaries money to stay here and do what they want. He goes, the only type of people that can be that psychotic, that strong of a sociopath and a psychopath that can run up on a girl while she's running in broad daylight and drag her into the woods and beat her skull in. And my condolences again to the families. This story is horrific. He goes, are mercenaries, people that are here to kill other people. And he said, what's happening is now, he goes, I saw this in Venezuela. And he goes, you started to have Chavez where they were bringing in people from other countries. He goes, people were there in Venezuela speaking Russian and speaking Arabic. And he goes, every time there'd be a protest that was pro-Chavez, they'd come up in their uniforms and have their little Chavez shirts on with his little face on them. And he goes, none of them in most cases were from Venezuela. He goes, they were all from other countries. And they're all being paid there to do nothing until it was time for them to do something. And he said, there's definitely a very serious problem that you're seeing here in the United States. When these groups get here, they're being paid for a reason. They're not coming here because they're going to sit on the couch all day for the rest of their life and watch TV. They're here to change the votes, and they're here to cause violence when they need to do so. That is why you're seeing such unprecedented violence and behavior from these individuals that are coming here. And I thought to myself, wow, what more of a reason than that do you need to make sure you can defend yourself and stay strong and stay healthy and stay active and stay aggressive when you need to do so and know how to operate? And that goes to show you another reason why now they're pushing so hard to try to ban and control firearms. He said the crazy part about it in Venezuela was, he goes, normal citizens, it was next to impossible to get a firearm legally. If you got one, there's all these hoops, there was no significant firepower. And he goes, suddenly these pro-Chavez supporters would show up, and he goes, they got AKs, they got PKM with belt fed. He goes, they just show up, rockets, RPGs, when they wanted to start basically violence and chaos. He goes, where were they getting the weaponry from? It was the military. Exactly. These guys are coming here for a reason, and it's not to hang out with everybody and integrate into society positively. There's a reason why everybody that's coming here are middle-aged, basically well-groomed, well-shaped men that are coming here. So again, another reason why it's so important to stay active and stay strong. And now on the top of all this, what we're dealing with, the Supreme Court now is divided during an oral argument on February 28th yesterday on whether it should uphold the ATF's regulation prohibiting the ownership of bump fire stocks. This is a huge deal. The bump fire stocks finally went to the Supreme Court. The regulation, as you guys know, is after 2017 under Donald Trump, after the shooting in Las Vegas, where the alleged shooter that allegedly blew out two high-rise, high-impact windows from basically the Mirage and went in there and essentially allegedly shot all these people with bump fire stocks with 15 rifles that were up there. And what's crazy about the whole situation was none of it was even accurate. None of it was even true. When SWAT breached the room, they showed the body cam footage, a year and a half later, there was no windows broken. I've been to Vegas multiple times for the SEMA Auto Show. I've stayed in multiple hotels out there. There's a reason why none of the hotels have any balconies. There's a reason why all the windows out there in Vegas are high impact windows, because they have sandstorms. They're 30, 40, 50 stories tall in some cases. They have to be unbelievably strong. Windows don't break out in Vegas. They're super thick. You could hit them with a sledgehammer and you won't break them. You won't even crack them. You have to have full demo units to try to blow windows out. Yet this guy didn't have any demo kits. He didn't have any breaching charges in his room. He just had 20 different AK or AR-15s with bump fire stocks. The whole thing was set up for that specific reason, to go after bump fire stocks. And here's the argument with the Supreme Court. They're arguing about how the function of the trigger and stating that the function's like a machine gun, but then it doesn't function like a machine gun, and all these semantics about one pull of a trigger. The entire premise, and I said this from the beginning about the bump fire stocks, had nothing to do with the effectiveness of that plastic stock that slides. I've shot them before. They're useless as a wet paper bag. They're not a machine gun. It was designed to give ATF the precedent to rewrite law from 1934.
Exactly right.
So ATF then legally, under Donald Trump, can come in and start rewriting congressional laws without any oversight and without any congressional approval. And they can simply say, well, a vertical grip on an AR now makes the gun more deadly. We're banning vertical grips. Oh, EOTech or aim point red dot on top of the gun makes it faster for target acquisition. We're banning red dots now. That's exactly what the premise was for ATF to do this. And then you saw what they did with the braces a couple years back now, and that's been turned down. So this whole thing that they're doing with this bump fire stock, it's all theater designed to give ATF unprecedented power over firearm laws in the United States. Let me put it very clearly. The Supreme Court, even Gorich even talked about this in here. The ATF does not, under any circumstances, have the legal right at all to rewrite laws. That is Congress. Anything ATF does past that is illegal and should be deemed so. Use your own discretion at this and make your own choices. But this, again, is another fun fact, how we have given Ukraine, over $150 billion in heavy weapons, artillery, machine guns, ammunition, everything in between under the sun from Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, and we're continually giving them all these weapons. But yet we're arguing here in the United States if a plastic stock that slides on a semi-automatic AR-15 should be deemed a felony for law-abiding citizens to possess. That shows you the irony right now of what's actually happening.
One more time, which president did this?
No, that was your buddy, man. It was Donald Trump.
Oh, so it wasn't a Democrat.
No, it wasn't Democrat.
It was Donald Trump.
No, I know. Trust me. You get me started on this. You know me. I like Trump with a lot of stuff, but the ATF and Operation Warp Speed are two topics that there's no rebuttal on.
These are just rhetorical questions, more or less. We already know who it was, but the problem is that he's savior. He did this in his first term when he had to be reelected.
This is in 2017 when he
what's he going to do? What's he going to do in his second term when he can't be reelected?
Yeah,
he brought his ATF to the forefront and gave them unprecedented abilities that were illegal and unconstitutional. He basically wanted to have red flag gun laws implemented, and this is a Republican president. He's anti-gun. If people don't see that, they're not looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, but
remember, Obama tried to ban bump fire stocks multiple times with ATF. ATF couldn't do it
because he was a Democratic president. The
correct.
Congress resisted
it. But Biden or Obama never even could get it done because he never gave ATF the legal authority. When Trump did it, he literally gave ATF presidential authority to go in and rewrite law, which he did not have the ability to do. ATF is an enforcement agency.
And you know what's funny about that? He didn't close the borders, did he?
No, it was a lot slower though. It wasn't to this level.
But the point is, he didn't close the borders.
Yeah, it wasn't. This
so he was able to get ATF have laws rewritten, but he didn't close the borders.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why wasn't it Trump who brought us Operation Warp Speed and killed millions of people? Wasn't that Trump too? Wasn't it Trump who was basically telling us that, hey, look, I'm going to promote this kill shot even years out of office? And that's him, Trump?
Yeah, but your boy Biden likes his ice cream. So, I mean, he's got to make sure
hey, look, if you want to vote for Trump because of Melania, have at it, but just don't expect this guy who did this on his first term to make
I expect nothing less from what he's already done. I just tell everybody they better be ready to be on their own.
Well, no, the biggest problem, again, is the Christians have gone silent on this because he's their boy. And, and so they chose.
That's a fact. As far as a lot of people want to take the responsibility off being ready and being self-sufficient, and they want to put it onto somebody else. We've talked about this before now with society so much, where nobody wants to be responsible for their own actions.
Well, what happens is we basically say we're going to give it to our elected officials.
Yeah,
we're giving them the responsibility to govern us. And the reality is we do that, and we take the responsibility off of our shoulders, where it should be, and we give it to a bunch of elected politicians through fake elections.